Hello, welcome to another Go Matos YouTube video. I'm going to give you some tips on how to create a video. For those that don't know me, my name is Matos and I am a missionary to the country in Mozambique. And what I do is I took my film gear and I have recorded my whole journey in the continent of Africa. And for those of you that don't know what a missionary is, it's simply a Christian that lives in a different country and helps or establishes a church overseas. So in this video, I'm going to teach you some principles, what type of camera to start with, or if you have a camera, how to use it for your benefit. I'm going to teach you a little bit of lighting, and I'm also teach you on how to use your sound. This is just a beginning or a summary of a video to help you become a better filmmaker or how to grab better video. Okay, so here are a few examples on what you could use for as a camera, as a filmmaker, or maybe if you're a missionary, or maybe you're part of a mission, or you're a minister, or maybe it's part of a secular job where you have to, maybe you want to expand your platform, you want more people knowing what you do, or maybe you have a certain mission. When you're using social media, you have to kind of think in the respect of being a content creator. The next thing I want to talk to you about is Instagram. I like Instagram because there's two formats of video now. You could shoot vertically, or you could shoot horizontally, so like this, or you could shoot like this. And a lot of these short videos, you could pretty much promote your business, or maybe promote your missions, or whatever you're trying to do as an influencer. So the first camera I'm going to recommend to you, or I'm going to talk to you about, is just a regular old cell phone. I have a Samsung S20 Plus. The reason why I got the Plus is because there's a bigger screen and I like to watch movies and stuff like that. But the video and the camera on cell phones that, whoa, what's the best cell phone for you to get? The two that I would recommend that I've used is either an iPhone or a Samsung. I'm a Samsung user, but I feel as though is that the iPhone has better video quality. The only reason I don't like iPhone is the storage capacity. But if you want to get the bigger storage capacity, you know, iPhone is the way to go. And you don't need anything else. It's high resolution. You could shoot up to 4K. And especially if you're shooting outside with natural light, your cell phone, you could do a lot of content creation. And it's even good enough if you want to do a promo video and send it, they could put it on projection. It's just as good, and you don't need a professional camera or anything like that. And it's something that's always on you. I like using it for content creation because I might forget my camera, but I always have my cell phone. The second thing I want to talk to you about is a pocket camera. Maybe, and I don't have an example, but maybe you would like something that has like a retractable lens, and like a Sony or a Canon, and you want something, if you want to put it in your pocketbook, or you want to just keep it in your pocket, those are just as good. One thing that I like to do is on YouTube, I like to vlog. I like to go out and I have a different message, or something else, or maybe I'm taking you behind the scenes on how we're living in Mozambique, or if we travel or on vacation, whatever it may be. But maybe you don't like to have a big old camera in front of you, a big old DSLR with a microphone, and you don't want to stand out. This one is a little bit more secretive. It's this GoPro right over here. I like the GoPro because, you know, it's small, or you could use your cell phone as well. But I like the GoPro because it's dedicated just for GoProing. What I like about the new GoPros is that inside is integrated, where you could just live stream straight from the GoPro, which is pretty cool. So if you ever want to do like live prayers, or if you want to do like a live discussion, you're able to use that dedicated rather than using your cell phone. But a cell phone is just as good. Finally, what I want to talk to you about is a DSLR, and I'll show you just a minute. This is actually what I'm shooting from now. What I like about DSLR is that it's an interchangeable lens. You could make it as big or whatever aperture meaning how much light is going through the lens. A low aperture light, you know, the lower the number normally means that you're going to get more of a blurred background. So whatever they're, you know, I only know the basics of lenses, but that's really generally what people get lower aperture lenses for. And you also want to get different millimeters, so different depth of field. So one with a larger lens on it, with a, like, let's say a 200 millimeter, you get really closed in on your subject, and then the depth of field starts to get more closed in, if that makes sense. So if you have a wide lens, let's say like a 30 millimeter lens on, and if you get close to a person, it's more of like a wide shot, and the face could kind of like look a little bit weird, like the face kind of narrows in, and the back, the depth of field, you start to get more depth of field. What I suggest is maybe getting a one that ranges, maybe like a 50 to 150, so that way you get versatility, where when you're recording, you could zoom in on something a little bit better, but if you also could bring it back if you want a wide shot. Depending on what your budget is or how much you're willing to invest in it, you do not need a DSLR. You can do the same thing with the camera. It's just that you might not get much zooming, and depending on the camera with the aperture, it might be a little bit more difficult in low light setting. The next thing I want to talk to you about is lighting. Lighting is probably one of the most important things when it comes to recording video. In my office, where I do my video editing, it's low light, but I have a light right in front of me. So the cool thing about the social media age, the content creation age that we're in today, is that you have these like ring lights, and I'm going to show you a video. These ring lights, you could use them. They're cheap, they're very affordable, and you could find them anywhere. They're very effective, and you could just pack it up. They're telescopic. They're really great. So if you're in a low light area, I would suggest using a ring light. But if you do not want to invest in any equipment, and if you don't want to, and also knowing that shooting in low light areas, it comes with a lot more care, I would suggest maybe just shooting outdoors. Shooting outdoors is the best thing you could possibly do. The time of the day where I recommend shooting outdoors is maybe where it's cloudy, you don't get that really bright sun that's over you, or maybe you want to do it close to sunset or close to sunrise. Close to sunset, close to sunrise is what they call the golden hour. So you'll get like those nice, beautiful colors. Or maybe do it at a time where the sun is not directly over you, maybe at the noon, or maybe you could do it in the shade. When you start shooting in video, what you do not want is a very bright background, and then you yourself is being too underexposed or too dark. So these principles will help you into getting cleaner and better video footage. And finally, mic systems. There's on this DSLR camera, I have what's called a shotgun mic. I put it right over the camera, which is called it's a cold shoe or a hot shoe, depending on the mic that you have. And what I have is a stereo wire that's connected to the mic port of the camera. Some cameras do not have a mic port. I would probably recommend, if you want a better mic, I would recommend before buying a camera, the ones without the ports, I would just say like maybe not get that one unless you don't care about the internal mic. Every DSLR camera has an internal mic, but those mics typically they do not sound very well. If you absolutely just want to stick with a mic inside of the DSLR camera, no problem at all. So all you have to do is just focus on being in an area that doesn't have a lot of echoes, maybe a small room, have couches and stuff that's inside of it. Don't let it be empty, so that way you won't get a lot of echo. So with sound, you want clean sound, whereas by the time the video ends, you don't want people to guess or don't understand what you're saying. So sound is very important. Be mindful if you're going to be shooting outdoors, if you have cars around you or if there's a lot of traffic, be mindful of that, because once you're done recording and you go home, you might have to shoot it again. Also, another mic is you have this lapel system. I have this little mic that's clipped on me, and you can have it. There's different options where you could wirelessly connect it with your phone. You could wirelessly connect it with your camera. There's a lapel system where you just wire it, or there's like a wireless system. There's a few options, and you can look around for that. But lapel systems are good for if you're indoors, there's not a lot of noise, or if you're far away from the camera. There's definitely a lot of good benefits to it. Tips to create a video. First, what you want to do is you want to figure out what content you want to display on social media. Typically what I like to do is I like to create a storyline. Maybe just write out, draw it out what you want to do. Typically I start out with the setting, the place. I do some B-rolls in Mozambique, just warming people up to what to expect when they see this video. More into creating story, maybe just whatever story. Maybe you want to talk about how's my day going into a market. Well, maybe you want to start, okay, this is how I go to the transportation system. This is generally who I go along with. This is the market that I go to. You want to go from the time of leaving your house all the way going to the market, and then you want to close it up. One tip I would like to give you is that maybe don't do just such a long shot or a long sequence, because you're going to lose people's attention. Maybe do just one clip at this place, another clip, so on and so on. When you break it up and it's not too long, it's much more easier to digest, and you capture the people's interest in your video. Well, this is my final goodbye. Hopefully it wasn't too much. I will be coming up with more tips and tricks. If you have any questions or if you want to for me to talk about a certain topic, drop a comment down below. I would love to get into more tech tip stuff. I'm so happy that people are coming out to me, seeing if I could do like a workshop or a video training in their church. I just love giving back and helping out. If this is your first time watching, thank you for giving us the time to watch this video. Subscribe and ring the bell for further notifications. That'll be so great, and I'm so excited to give you more, providing more content.